Alright, so the only major thing left now is to make the helmet. So the helmet design is sort of based on a lot of horror films, and primarily something like, the Angel of Death from Hellboy 2. Okay, so that was roughly what I was going for. Or something from like Hellraiser and like all of that kind of stuff. So the design is effectively fairly simple. Like it's a straight thing going in the middle. Okay, if I can draw a straight line, that is. And then it kind of curves down. Okay, and then does this. And then you sort of mirror it to this side. So if I just bring it down straight like that, God, I'm terrible at this. Okay, and then, roughly something like this. And then I wanted a cut in the middle, which would have like a, like a heart or something over there. And then we will randomly sort of break out pieces, on both sides to make it look a little bit fancy. So if you look at it from the side, then the side is something like, like it sort of curves back a little, and then the edge sort of curves back like this. So it's sort of bending both ways, okay, which is effectively what I want to do. So what we want to do is this first line is straight and the last line sort of curves a lot. Okay, and then from the side, the first line is like this and the last line curves a lot. So what we want effectively is we want to control three things. Okay, we also want to control the size because the starting line is really big and then the end line gets really small. And then we have two different bends. We have one for the front, which does this, and then one for the sideways, which will do this thing. So we're going to use a little bit of copy stamping. Now, according to the Houdini documents, copy stamping is deprecated, but I don't particularly care. For things like these, copy stamping is a lot simpler than trying to go through for each because you need to type a lot lesser. So I have no interest in making like a meta import node and do all that kind of nonsense. For some things it does work, a lot. It's a lot easier to just go through copy stamping. Okay, now the point is this one is not really dependent upon the body at all. Okay, we're just going to make this completely independently. So what we're going to start off with is simply, we're going to take a circle and I'm going to take this circle, I'm going to do a transform and just move it up. So we'll do a ZX plane, take this guy and just move it up here to the height of, we want it around the eyes. Okay, like roughly over here or actually a little below, like, somewhere below the eyes, and we only want it till here. Like I don't want the ears to get covered. I just want it till about there. Okay, so the second thing is make this into a polygon and we want to go 0 to 90 in an open curve. So the problem is it comes this way. And then we also don't want it to be, fully like that. So I'm just going to take this, keep shift pressed and sort of squeeze it like that. And maybe just pull it out. Okay, and then I need about 6 sides. I think 4 is okay. Yeah, 4 is fine. Like maybe just pull it out like that. And then do a mirror and bring it to the front. So in the Z axis. But we don't want to keep the original. So we just have this. See, so this is like a very simple way to, bring it to the front. So I can just take this and move it up a little bit like that. Or I think this is okay. So what we have left is just this. And we can try to make it even smaller. So let's just see if we can go a little. Oh, okay, it cuts from there, does it? Okay, that's a problem. We don't want it to cut from there. Let's cut from the back over here. Yeah, I think this is okay. Okay, and then what I can do is, let me just do this a little bit more, and then I can take a poly spline, or let's do a resample. A resample is fine as well. Or hold on, let's check with the poly spline. Okay, so I can take a poly spline, and yeah, first and last should be maintained. No, hold on. So take this to something like B spline or degree 2 Bezier. Hold on. We need to figure out which one we want. Yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, so do a B spline. So it kind of, drops in a little bit like that. Or you can try something else as well. You can try to do a degree, no, not a degree 2. No. Yeah, you have like a variety of them. I think B-spline is the best. And the nice thing about this is you can also do like a little bit of CV tension, so it allows you to kind of adjust it. We can try to lower the divisions. Yeah, I think this is good. So it gives you like a nice little curve on the whole thing. Yeah, but the problem is it sort of drops over there, which is not what we want. Yeah, so get the CV count up to like 3 so that it, adjusts itself. And then we can do a resample. So take a resample and do a subdivision curves. Let's give it about, let's try 20 points. So this is roughly what we have. Let me just come down here and I just want to see the body. Yeah, this is perfect. This is good. So now what I want to do is, where is it? There we go. Yeah, navigation becomes a problem. Okay, so what we can do now is I can just take if we take a simple line and we'll do a copy to points. So I have this and that. Do an add so that it removes the normals and say delete geometry but keep points. So see, so you just have this and get this long enough. Let's also come in here and adjust this. Yeah, I think this is okay. So this gives you like, the basic shape that you want. Okay, so now what we want to do is if we come to the line down here, we need to give it some points. So we'll give it about say 12 points, and this will be NURBS because it will be easier that way. And then I can just take this and let's do we need to do a couple of attribute wrangles, and we also need to give a little bit of bend here. So the first bend is to go, backward. Okay, so this will be slightly back, and then towards the end, it won't go that far back. And then we want the sideways bend. Okay, so this one, I'll keep it like vertical like that. Okay, so it will be something like 1 here and 1 in Z axis. And then if we check it, see, so this is going backwards, which is good. And then just take the length of the line. So we'll do right click, copy parameter, come into bend, and capture length will be like base relative reference. Okay, so the capture length is the length of the line, which is basically what we want. And so this is 1, and then I can just duplicate this. We can call it bend front, and I can do Control C, Control V, and we'll call it bend side. And this will be 1 in X axis. So this will bend. Okay, so we have like our 2 bends that we want. So if we look at the copy, that's what we get. So what we want to do is that the bend should increase as it goes down. But what we can do is like, if let's say we want a little more fancier control, we can base it on like a custom attribute. So what we can do is I can take a wrangle here and I can drop in a wrangle, and let's call it control, and we'll use color. So I can just do like add CD is equal to 0. Usually I like to do it with color because it's easier to visualize, like nothing else. So add CD dot R is equal to, we just want to do a ramp. So ch ramp, we call it M, and at pt num divided by float of at num pt. Yeah, and if we come down here, sorry, we're taking the wrong thing. We don't need a copy to points. We need a copy stamp because we want to do a little bit of stamping with this. It just makes life easier. So we'll turn off transform cumulative and yeah, come in here, click plus. So we should get, see, there you go. Now the point is I want red in the beginning or actually no, this is fine. Okay, this is perfectly fine. This works for us. And so now what I can do is I have this, which is good. So I can just come in here and let's take the bend front And so what I want to do first, I want to do a whole bunch of things, right? So I want firstly to control the line length so that it sort of slopes downwards like that. So we'll come into the uniform scale, and I'll do fit01. We'll do at cd.r, comma, let's say the beginning is 1 and the end is like 0.4. So you'll get this. See, so this is step 1. Step 2 is, let's work with the side first. So I'm going to do a stamp. Okay, so a stamp function allows you to take any parameter and bring it into the copy node via the stamp input. So we can turn on stamp input and we'll call it. So the way it works is you just type in stamp and then it has like, where do you want to go? So we want to go to copy 1 and then we want to, what is it called? So we'll call it F, and you need like an initial default value. So we'll say initial default value is 10. You can make it 0 also, like it doesn't really matter. And then I can come in here and then this is F. See, so it sort of goes to 0. So you see, you can control the bend from here now. And again, what I want to do is we want to take the same thing here. So do Control C. And over here, I want to go Control V. Say initial value is 20. And then the end value is slightly lesser, so 10. See, so we're getting something like this. Let's do one thing. Let's delete this. So we can just control it a little bit more. Yeah, okay. We'll do like a manual thing here. Doesn't really matter. And then what I also want to do is I want to get the side. Okay, let's hold on a second. Is this the side? Yeah, hold on. Yeah, okay, sorry. We're doing the wrong thing. Okay, so this should be, the side is where we want the full arc to come down over here, right? So we want the beginning to be something like 10 and the ending to be something like 90. There we go. See, so you get this nice little, like a flower opening up over here. We can just lower that. I think we need to adjust the origin. The origin direction is what is causing a problem. Oh, sorry. Okay. So the capture direction should be 1, not the capture origin. That's why it was causing problems. Yeah, okay. So this is 0. This is 1 and that's 0. Yeah, suddenly wondering like, why is it looking so weird? Okay, so the capture direction should be 1, not capture origin. I get thoroughly confused with these things sometimes. Yeah, there you go. See, so that looks pretty fancy. And we can also adjust this again. Let's make this about like say 1.6. Yeah, so you get like a really nice long enough thing. Make this about 0.2 and let's adjust that. So you get like a nice control here. Yeah, I think now we can do this. Okay, okay, and then we want to bend the backward, area as well. So this, let's say we want to bend a little bit backward in the beginning and then less towards the end. So again, just take this, we'll do Control C. Actually, yeah, this is where I made the mistake. Let's not make, this is not F, this is S. And this should be S. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is all getting a little confusing now. Okay. Yeah, I'm just sort of making mistakes naming the whole thing. But Control C and then Control V, this is the front. And this is negative, right? So we'll go -10. And the same thing here. So this is F and we'll do Control Z. Yeah. So Control C, Control V. And the beginning is -20 and the end is say -5. Yeah, so you'll get something like this. And so if you skin it, it should look pretty nice. See, so you have like this nice little, helmet, which if you want, you can see with her head, because we might need to go a little bit longer. No, I think, yeah, there you go. So this looks pretty nice. So it's good. Okay, so now what we want to do next is we want to sort of give it a little more shaping. Okay, because this is fairly uniform. If I just mirror this, it should give me the result that I want. Like I can just take this and mirror it. Okay. What you can do is we can adjust this. Like maybe if I don't want that much of a gap in the beginning, like I can come in here and we can try to adjust this. So let's make this 0. See, so it doesn't really, like bend that much. If you want a little bit of a gap in the middle, because I had that gap in the middle, we can try to do a slight bit of a carve here or something. Like I can take a carve, at this point itself, and not for the front. Yeah, there you go. And just give it like a slight bit of a carve. So you get a little bit of a gap in the middle. I think the gap looks better. Okay, so this is done. This is our basic shape. So now what you want to do is I want to do a couple of things, right? I want to scatter a little bit of points, and then I want to delete whatever is the most red. So essentially like whatever is on the border. And then I also want something in the middle, okay, for making the gemstone or making a place for the gemstone. So I'm going to take a simple scatter, and we'll do a fairly simple scatter here and just lower the points and maybe lower the scale density as well. Okay, and here I can just do like a at time so that we get the randomization anyways. So this is step 1, and step 2 is I want to take a simple line here and also like convert this to geometry or convert this to polygons, because we will need this to be polygons. Okay, so this is good. And then, so this is the first set of points. The second one is here. I'm going to just take this, do a transform and move it up to about. The idea with this also is like if you're doing something properly for a helmet or whatever, then the advantage of this is that like if you want to keep opening for the eyes, so I can create a point here for the eyes, or if I want to create an opening for the nose, I can create a point here for the nose, and then do the attribute thing and you can delete it. So, but we'll give it a few points, and then I'll do a wrangle and create an attribute for it. So we'll do I at jewel is equal to 1, and then let's give it a color as well. So we'll just take the color and make this pure red. It's not really important. Okay, and then we can merge these two together. So we have this and that. And let's do a Voronoi fracture and turn off all of this stuff. Copy point attributes. We want jewel and CD, and let's plug this in. So we should get this, see, and yeah, so this is good. So let's see if it is working. Okay, like first of all, let's just try to move this around and see if it's working. Yeah, there you go. This is good. Okay, so let's get rid of two things. So we'll do a delete here, and we want to delete jewel. So we'll do delete by expression and at jewel less than 0.9. See, so you'll get, the opposite. So we want to do delete non-selected. See, so you get like a break like that in the middle, which should be interesting. We can adjust, this. So we can lower the line length. We can lower the number of points. You can also move this sideways a little bit. So you can define like how much you want. And we can try to sort of see. So there you go. So you get something fancy like that. If you want a single point, you can keep a single point as well. Okay, like if instead of this, if I just take like an add and I can just keep that here and do like point, see, so I can do that as well. Okay, like I can just move this in a little bit and then just, so I can just break like one piece. Okay, so depending on what you want, like, a few more shapes or a few less shapes, that's completely up to you. Okay, so this is good. And then I also want to break the side. So I'm going to take another delete and plug this in. And this is fairly simple. We'll go by expression and I'll do at cd.r greater than 0.9. And so what that will do is like whatever points are here which are greater than 0.9, they will keep getting deleted. So maybe more. Let's try 0.8, 0.7. Okay, that's a lot of points, but there you go. See, so you get something fancy like this. So if you mirror this, you get something like this. See, so that's pretty fancy. Like we can try to adjust this again, like how much or how open you want it. But yeah, this is it. So this is the basic design for the helmet. So in the next video, I'll just detail it up a little bit more. Like I want a jewel in the middle and a little bit of like lines connecting to it. So we'll do that in the next video.